Genesis 1:29, what it says and what it means. I'm following the path that God intended us to follow in Genesis 1:29. I'm experiencing miracles. My hair's all going straight up because I'm releasing all these bindings all through my neck and body. What Genesis 1:29 says is, and God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you that shall be for meat. So, what is that saying? Is it saying fruits and vegetables? No. This doesn't say vegetables. It says herb bearing seed, right? So the herb has to be bearing seed. It has to be carrying seed. So if you're familiar with the process of a plant, by the time those seeds are viable, because we're maintaining the cycle of life here. That's what we're doing. We've been called to maintain the cycle of life like an animal does, like every other animal does here. Herb bearing seed looks like this. This is mustard seed. The mustard is there's nothing left to consume in that except the seed. This is coriander seed. The herb bearing seed, right? This is hemp seed. These are the things that sustain us. Now, God specifically said herb bearing seed. And if you look back in Genesis, let's see here, which is it? Genesis 1:11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. So grass and herb with seed. So God gave us herb with seed. They did not give us grass. So wheat and all those things, they're not for us. They're for cows. Because we need to, the Genesis, if you would also notice Genesis 1, there is no fire in Genesis 1. So there's no cooking of the seeds, just raw seeds. Mustard seed, hemp seed, sunflower seeds, coriander, there's the dill seed, celery seed. There's all kinds of seeds that we can consume just straight from the plant. And then we get messy with it. We leave some on the ground, we take some for ourselves. And then we maintain the cycle of life, just like an animal does. Now the tree, right? The fruit of the tree. So the fruit of the tree yielding seed, right? So this is they gave us the fruit, not the seed. Now do nuts have fruit? No, they don't. They do not have fruit. There's no fruit on a nut. Nuts are not designed for us. If you try and eat a nut without tools, you break your teeth. They're not designed for us. We're designed to have these. The only tools we have in Genesis 1 are the hands. So, avocados, peaches, apples, pears, apricots, all those kind of fruits. Anything that you can pick with your hands and eat. And then you disperse of the seed. So we function for the tree to create forests of those trees that feed us, and then we create forests and benefit the trees. It's all a beneficial function here. Right now, everything that we consume is dysfunctional, and it's destroying our society, as you can tell when you look around, right? So God wasn't giving us everything. We actually have a relatively strict diet that we've been given, a relatively strict grouping of foods. And it's all in a process of maintaining the function of life, maintaining the process of life, the cycle of life. That is what we are here to do. We act like the cows in the field. The cows aren't out, climbing trees. That's our job. Those are ours, right? And they have the field of wheat and grains. They get those. If you look in Genesis 3, when Adam and Eve ate from the tree that they were forbidden to eat from, God says they're cursing Adam to toil in the fields and eat from the herb of the field, right? And that's when Cain and Abel came, and they were consuming them, and Cain felt cursed, and Abel felt glorified, and then Cain killed Abel because Abel was killing animals. It's the process of that they explained in Genesis 9, I believe it is, to Noah, that God explained, okay, go ahead and eat the meat. If you're going to sacrifice the animals I told you to keep alive, if you look Genesis 8, it says keep them alive. Noah, the first thing he does when he gets off the boat, sacrifices them. God says, I'm not cursing the earth anymore. That belongs to man. So you're going to eat the meat. The animals are going to hate you and hide from you and live in fear from you. And they're going to attack you. You're going to attack them. And you're going to attack each other and kill each other. And I'm going to require it of you. And that's the fall. This book is about the fall of man. This entire book, the fall of man. So I've been consuming what God told us. Herb with seed, fruit with seed. Mustard seed and avocados is fantastic together. You just put a little mustard seed on your avocado. No fire. I don't cook anything. I only use my hands as tools. I'm doing everything I can to walk back to the garden as much as possible in this nightmare we live in. So that's the interpretation that God has handed me of this book. And they came to me and said, I need you to go back to the beginning of the book and do what I told you.